G'day folks, it's Rob here and welcome to this week's update vlog. This week I've got a little bit of a clip from a couple of harvests earlier on in the week, some rosellas out the front, give you a bit of a look at how the bananas are going and some bed prep out there, and also a very small sweet potato harvest for a curry Kira and I cooked up while Bianca was away. Also, I wanted to go through the seeds that we're going to sow out. Now, we're coming into winter down here in the subtropics, which means we're pretty much all starting to sow what most of you folks in North America and northern parts of Europe are starting to grow now. Generally, we plant all our slicing tomatoes around about now, so we can miss out on the fruit flies, and we generally get some rather nice crops. We're not sowing any seeds out this year though, because we're sort of cutting back on bed space and doing a few minor alterations to the patch, so I don't really have anywhere to put them. So they're not on the cards this year. But what I'm about to start sowing out this week are our brassicas. I've got a couple here from Green Harvest. We've got our 60-day cauliflower that always does well for us. And we've also got some what I think is Waltham broccoli. She's a little bit water damaged, but the seeds are all good inside. So they'll be going out into some beds out the front. Through the season, I'll also buy probably some seedling starts from the local hardware and nurseries as well, just to fill in gaps as we do a bit of a progressive harvest. More so on the cauliflower than the broccoli though. Other greens wise, we are planting out some Mitsuba or Japanese parsley. Thank you very much, Chris. Some of that will be going out. I really do like the flavour of that green. We also have some red coral Mizuna. I think this is from Stephen Tate. The name is sort of rubbed off the back, but thank you very much to whoever did gift these seeds to us a while back. In the veggie pod, I'm going to sow out some more Amish deer tongue lettuce from Sandy's Forget-Me-Not Heritage Seeds. The last lot sort of got a little bit fried in there in the warmer part of summer when I forgot to mist them, but hopefully these guys will do a little bit better. And I'm also going to pop out some Provider bush beans out the front somewhere, maybe one or two in the aquaponics. They generally get hit by mites here through summer, so hopefully I've missed the mites, broken the cycle, and we can get a few beans off. So they're pretty much the seeds I've got planned. I also have ordered some Glenlarge garlic, so that will be going out. I'm a little bit late off the bat with the garlic this year. Normally I like to have it in the fridge now to vernalise. Vernalising is just tricking your rhizomes or your roots to think they've gone through a winter before they shoot for spring. Because we're subtropical, we grow through our winter here and can grow garlic in one season. I'll pop a little bit of a link up there to our vernalisation clip if you're just interested in seeing what that's all about. So we might head on out the front. We'll have a look at the harvest from earlier on in the week and I'll chat to you in a tick. How's it going, folks? I've just come out the front to do a bit of a rosella harvest and give you a bit of a look at the old melon bed as well, the Kajari melon bed. These sweet potatoes have taken right off in here. I didn't end up putting any corn in, so I just thought I'd leave it go for the sweet potato to see how they go. I'm actually going to be harvesting some of these from the parent plant of these guys in a tick. Hopefully give you a bit of a look, but I need to get stuck into these rosellas as well. Sorry if this phone is twitching again. Just down here I'll show you, I have cleaned out a couple of beds, getting them ready for brassicas. The rain ended up hammering down, so I retreated back inside, but I've taken all the corn out. It's just sitting on a pile on the ground here, just drying out so I can run it through the shredder or the mulcher. And I've also cut the warrigal greens in this bed right back. I've cut one plant back a lot harder than the other just to see what will happen, and the other I've left a little bit more greenery on. Hopefully they should bounce back all right. Up the back of these I'm going to plant some brassicas as well. Hopefully in this bed here I'll put some more brassicas. It does really need a good feeding though. The soil level has dropped quite a bit because I've left it go fallow, so I'll hook into that. And over there at the back we have some volunteer turmeric that have popped up in that bed, and when my phone straightens out, and that Chinese celtis growing on the fence line there needs to be cut right back because it'll be blocking the winter sun. And I also need to take out that old banana stalk there as well. I never got around to it after the fruit was harvested. Give you a bit of a look at these guys. We have still got the male flowers and the bells on here. I haven't bothered to take them off, so I just thought I'd leave them on. But the fruit are getting a nice little bit of size to them, so hopefully we'll get a nice harvest out of this little bunch. Here's some of the male flowers on the smaller bunch, but it's only got the 4 or 5 hands on it just up in there. This one here, the brace is working really well. I really do need to get some sort of a brace for this one here. I just haven't got any long bits of material left, so I'm going to have to scrounge off some friends, I think. And just up here we have another banana flower setting, or bunch I should say, a load of little female flowers on there at the end of the fruit. This one here is stuck between a couple of leaves from this tree, so I'm going to try and unstick it. I'll try my best anyway. It's actually coming from a smaller plant, this one just behind it there, so it'll be interesting to see how many hands of fruit we actually get on there. So I thought I'd give you a bit of a look at that, and we might pop down now and harvest some sweet potato. So this is the sweet potato patch just growing on top of the lawn clipping pile out the front yard. There's a pigeon pea that's just popped up in there. So this is just grown from some scraps left over from a root pouch I had full of these purple Hawaiian Sunshine sweet potatoes. They were just a little patch down here, and they've slowly taken over the whole of the compost pile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here. This is round about where the plant started off, and I'll have a bit of a dig around in there and see if I can find any nice looking tubers. So I'm sort of hoping these tubers will be in the soft earth if I find any. Well, there's a couple in here, I think. So I might just have a bit of a yank and see what we can find rather than... Oh, it's a bit of an old stick. I tell you what, lawn clippings really do make nice compost. I'm just going to have to zoom in to give you a bit of a better look, folks. So there we go, there's our spud. And it feels like it's going down quite a way. Oh, there's another one next to it. So I don't want too many tonight. I just want enough for a Japanese curry for Kira and I while Bianca's up at Cairns. So there we go. That'll do for one curry, but we might pull another root anyway. Felt another one just over here. A lot of these vines will probably die back a little bit, but I'm not too worried about that. There's enough of them here. Oh, here we go. Got a nice round one this time round, so pretty chuffed about that. So those two will be more than enough for our little Japanese curry. So let's try and pull the soil back. These guys are supposed to have purple flesh, but I'm not too sure what they're going to look like. I'll insert a bit of a photo at the end of the clip just to show you what they look like when we cut them open. So now on to harvesting some rosellas. So I won't bore you with the whole rosella harvest. I'll come back and give you a bit of a look at everything at the end. So I've just got these last few up in here to do, and I think that's pretty much all it. I can give you a bit of a look at the harvest. There's a bit of a look at the harvest from today. Not a bad little haul. We've probably had, this is the third or maybe the fourth harvest we've had of about that many rosellas. And there's just a bit of a look at the sweet potatoes all cleaned up. That one almost looks like a cricket ball. And a nice knobbly little job over the back here. With the curry, I'm only going to be popping in some of the sweet potato and some of the warrigal greens from the freezer. We went out and bought some beans to just fill it out, and a carrot, so not much from the patches going in tonight's meal, but a little bit at least. And a lot of these guys here will be saved for syrup. If you're interested in the syrup recipe, I'll put a little bit of a link up there for you. So just quickly, I did get around to harvesting that bok choy yesterday. I harvested some lemongrass along with some Thai basil, Brazilian spinach, and some other bits and pieces, onion greens I think. And I made myself a bit of a pork and lemongrass and ginger stir fry, so that was very tasty. So that's pretty much all, just a few leafy greens is all I've been taking out of the patch this week. So I hope you enjoyed that little bit of a look at what's going on out the front. Hopefully things will stay dry enough for me to mulch up that corn and finish mowing the lawn out there. Just before we pop over to feed the fish, I thought I'd let you folks in the Northern Hemisphere know, now that you're coming into spring, even though some of you still have snow on the ground, that we have a number of growing guides for the ginger and turmeric that we like to grow here. So I've tried to pack a lot of information into those growing guides. There's cool climate growing tips on where to position them and that sort of thing, and growing in containers. So definitely check them out if you're interested in having a crack at some gingers or turmeric this season. I'll pack up my gear here and we'll wander over to the fish and toss a couple of pellets in. So I'll toss a couple of pellets in and see if they're hungry. I dare say, yep, they'll be straight up onto it. Things have cooled down a little bit from the heat waves we were having here, but yeah, definitely not enough to get these guys to stop feeding. I think they've hit it hard enough they can have the 2 lids tonight. So Might be a bit hard to see the actual fish. We might see if we can zoom in. So I threw a few more pellets in for them. They seem to be nice and hungry. So these guys will start to slow down their feed once the water temperature drops, but it's still in the mid-20s, so warm enough for them to continue to feed. The pH is stabilised as well for you folks who have been keeping up with it. We had a lot of rain and that lowers the pH in the system, but yeah, it's sitting pretty stable now, around about 6.7, so I'm pleased with that. I think they're going to finish this lot off as well. So we'll leave it there, folks. We'll let these fish continue to feed. I just quickly need to thank the marvellous folks over on Patreon who are helping to support the channel. You can suss out our super contributors in the description down below. I do hope you're all well and happy and you've enjoyed the clip, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers, folks. So I couldn't leave without giving you a closer look at these gingers. There's 8 of them in here and they've put on a phenomenal amount of growth. You might be able to make out some of the new spikes. There's one just there. And there's a couple of smaller ones just over the back there. So just done phenomenally well this season. So well that it's starting to push out the side of the pouch here. So that root starts down there and goes all the way up there. So really looking forward to sharing the harvest video with you guys in a couple of months' time. Cheers all.